Okay, so on example 1, we have 8 less than 3 times a number is negative 23. Okay, I always like to start with the variable first. So where it says times a number, do you know what that number is? No, so you know that that has to be our variable, okay? So how do I write 3 times a number? Multiply by 3, right? So 3 times n, or just 3n, okay? How do I write 8 less than that?
3n minus 8.
Minus 8. And then I have the other part is negative 23. What does is mean? Equals. If something is, it equals that. So equals negative 23. Questions on how we set it up? Could my answer also be 8 minus 3n equals negative 23?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, no, it cannot.
Oh, yeah, because it'd be a negative.
If you look here, my 8 is negative. Is my 8 negative in this one?
No.
No. Okay, if you look here, my 3n is positive. Is my 3n positive in this one?
No.
No. So when you are subtracting, does order matter?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so if you read that problem, we want 8 less than whatever this is. We don't know what that is, so it's 3n minus 8. Okay? Number 2, 13 is 7 more than 1/5 of a number. Okay? So over here, I have 1/5 of a number. That's where my variable's at. How do you write 1/5 of a number? What does of mean? Multiply. So we have 1/5 multiplied by a number. Do you know what that number is? So n. And we also have 7 more than that. So how do you write that? Plus 7 is 13. Equals 13. Okay, some of you, it might be easier to just kind of read it left to right. That's all you have to do. So when I mean read it left to right, I have 13 is, so I would write 13 equals 7 more, 7 plus 1/5 of a number. Okay? Are these two equal? Is my 13 positive? Is my 7 positive? Is my 1/5 n positive?
Yes.
Yes. So those two are equal. Okay? It doesn't make a difference to me. I like to pick out the variable first. Some people like to pick out the equals first. That's fine with me. Okay? The ones that matter are going to be what two operations will order matter? And division. Okay? So when you multiply and add, you can multiply and add in any order and you'll get the same answer. If you divide and subtract, though, you will get different answers. Okay? Got it? A through C. Stand quietly when you're done. A. Josie, what'd you have?
I had 6n plus 3 equals 15.
6n plus 3 equals 15.
I don't know. That's not what I have.
Okay, so then you have 15 what, Carter?
No, I had 3 plus. Yeah, I had 15.
Fif-
Yeah. Yeah.
15 equals what?
15 equals 6 plus 3. I mean 3 plus 6.
Are these the same thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, because my 15's positive, my 15's positive, my 3 is positive, my 3 is positive, 6n, 6n. Questions? Thumbs up if you got that. Okay. B. How do you write 10 increased by the quotient of a number and 6 is 5? Kaden?
10 plus n divided by 6 equals 5.
Oh.
Oh, I put 10.
Okay.
I flipped.
N over 6.
I put 6 in
Max, do you have something different?
I put n over 6.
Okay, so you have n over 6 plus 10 equals 5?
Yep.
That is also correct, okay? This is probably the way that you will see me write it, okay? Because doesn't the fraction bar mean division as well? Yes. Okay? When we have 10 increased by the quotient, this is where it kind of mixes people up. Because, like Caden said, shouldn't it be 10 or 10 plus division? That doesn't make sense, right? But it's between the quotient of a number. You don't know what that number is. The quotient would be division and 6.
I
Okay?
had 6 and n. So like,
So n comes first, right? Because a number
yeah.
divided by 6. If it would have been the other way, if it would have said the quotient of 6 and a number, it would be 6 divided by n.
No, I have like 6 and then n, like multiplied.
Oh yeah, quotient
Yeah,
means
I had-
division.
I had 10 divided by 6 n equals.
Gotcha. Okay, everybody see how that works now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then C, the difference between 12 and 2/3 of a number. This is kind of like that quotient one. How do I write the difference between 12 and 2/3 of a number? It's subtract, I agree. Which comes first though? 12, because it says 12. So 12 minus what? 2/3.
Equals 18.
I don't agree with that yet.
2/3.
2/3 of a number.
Ah,
Of means
Time.
times a number. Do you know that number?
no.
N is 18.
Let's go.
I just can't remember.
That was easy.
Does 12 have to come first in that subtraction?
Yes.
It does. Okay. Questions? Okay, then we're going to go on to the other story problems. So these ones are going to be more real world examples. So example 3. You buy 3 books that each cost the same amount and a magazine, all for $55.99. You know that the magazine costs $1.99. How much does each book cost? Okay. First of all, we need to define that variable. What are we missing? What is it that we're trying to figure out?
How much does each book cost?
This question right here. How much does each book, whoops, I thought that was my highlighter. How much does each book cost? Okay, therefore, our variable x should be what? The cost of books, right? One book. Cost of one book. Okay, that's defining the variable. So when I get an answer, it's going to be the cost of one book. Okay? Now we got to look at, what do we need to know from this story problem?
Magazines cost
So we know that the magazines cost $1.99. What else? What? I'm buying 3 books that each cost the same, right? And then what else? And it's all going to be $59.99. Okay? How many magazines did I buy?
1.
1. Aubrey, how'd you know that?
Because it says an A magazine.
A magazine. Okay, so I'm only buying 1 magazine. Okay? So now if I'm going to write my story problem, I'm going to buy 3 books. So I have 3. Each means what? Multiply. So each cost, do we know the cost?
No.
So that's going to be our X. Okay? What else did I buy?
Magazine.
How much did it cost?
$1.99.
What operation goes in between those two? Addition, right? Because we're going to take this cost plus my magazine cost. Okay? And that equals what? Because that was my total cost. Ooh, we're running out of room. Okay? What would I do to solve? Nope. I have to work away from my variable first. So I'd subtract 199, subtract,
Yeah, they did
199. So So this would make a 0 pair. I get 3x equals 55.99 minus 199 is,
54.
18 is the next number.
and then what would I do
18.
to get x by itself?
Division.
Division.
18.
So x equals
18.
18. Now what is my label?
Look,
Cool.
cost.
Cost of books. Therefore, x equals $18 for one book. Questions?
That's so expensive.
No,
Really?
Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna erase this.
It's all right here.
Okay.
Little. Books are always over $18.
All right, next example. A personal trainer buys a weight bench for $500 and W weights for $24.99 each. The total cost of the purchase is $849.86. How many weights were purchased? First of all, what am I finding? Jordan, thank you for raising your hand.
How many weights are purchased?
I need to figure out how many weights. Okay, so X will equal the number of weights. Okay? What else do I need to know? From the story problem. Addie, what else do we need to know? A weight bench. So how many weight benches are you buying, Addie?
One.
Just one. And W weights, we don't know how many, but they each cost what? $24.99. Okay? What else do we know?
Total cost of purchase.
The total cost is $849.86. Okay? So we're buying a weight bench that's $500. Plus, we're buying weights for $24.99 each. So what would that be? Multiply. I'd multiply $24.99 times what?
W.
W. You don't know what it is. But that's going to give me a total of, room again? Yep, $849.86. Okay, what would I do to solve? Subtract 500. Subtract 500. I would get, if you look at the book, it's, thank you, $349.86. And I still have $24.99 W. What would I do to get W by itself?
Division.
Divide by $24.99. So what do you get for an answer?
14.
And what would be my label?
Weight.
Because I'm buying that number of weights, so I would say 14 weights. Questions? Your assignment is on page 132, number 1 through 4.
So what are we doing? 122?
We took 349.86 divided by 24.99.
132.
Okay.
Next page.
Sorry.